rotation. Headshot. Goddamn. Bullshit, bullshit. Okay, dude. Fuck you.
Okay, what is going on, everyone? DSP here. Today is Sunday, August 17th, 2014. The summer is finally coming to a close. Welcome to the weekend preview. Let's talk a little bit about that because, as you guys know, this summer has been incredibly slow. I mean, in comparison even to previous summers that I did stuff for you guys, this summer by far was one of the slowest. And really, I think when you think about it, the primary reason that I think it really seemed like it was long and slow is because I was moving, right? I moved out of Connecticut to the state of Washington, and unfortunately, I didn't have any time to plan a summer marathon like I usually do. If you remember, previous years, I had marathons that I did, including Spider-Man, Batman, for those movies that were actually released for those summer blockbuster movies. You know, I did marathons of those. Mega Man, Classic Mega Man, and Mega Man X marathons. In addition to that, I did a Grand Theft Auto marathon a few years back. And then last year we had the Summer of Retro, where I actually re-experienced some of the games from my youth, the games that I grew up with on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And so all of those things, right, were great summer filler content. And not to be completely honest, no, it wasn't like the summers were insanely busy and I had millions of views. And no, downtime stuff is just what it is. It's downtime stuff. And you're going to have times during the year when there's no new games and you try to fill it. I'm trying to fill it with stuff for you, entertaining content, and I'm doing my best. And for the most part, people seem to be entertained. It's just that there's really hard to attract people when my main selling point is Phil plays every new game. He, shows what the games are. He gives an honest perspective, raw gameplay. He doesn't edit his shit like everybody else, so you can actually see his fails. You can see if the game's difficult, etc., etc., etc. So it's hard for me to retain an audience over the summer because people say, well, Phil's forte is new stuff. There's no new stuff, so we'll come back when there's new stuff. So first of all, I want to say thank you very, very much to those of you who stuck around for the summer, who've been watching my content, regardless of the fact that we did have a shift, right? My background's different. My streaming and capturing equipment is different. Everything looks different. I mean, right now, people have even been saying the vlogs look good. Like, my face in the vlogs looks much clearer because I'm not recording at 1080p. So, I'm doing my best during the summer to improve and work out bugs. So now that we're actually going to start to head into the hardcore gaming season, that stuff's behind us and we're able to move forward with the better quality and not have to worry about, uh-oh, Phil's dropping frames, the video's choppy, it's not working properly, yada, yada, yada. I think that I've done a good job over the past several weeks of getting through all that, and now I'm able to consistently stream you content, and now that all the new games are coming out, now you're going to get to see full 1080p, 60 frames per second, all kinds of new stuff, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Okay, so, a lot of people are commenting, oh, my hair looks different, I got a haircut. That's the first major announcement. I got a haircut. The first haircut I ever got since 2011, when I got laid off from, I'm sorry, I would take that back. Since 2010, when I got laid off from my full-time job of how many years? 5 years. And I decided, that I wanted to change up my look. If you remember, all my stuff on my original Dark Side Phil channel, I had short hair, really crew cut, real close to the head. And I liked it because when I woke up, I didn't have to brush it, I didn't have to do anything with it. And then I grew it out to look different. I grew the goatee, I grew out my hair to look different, and I like the new style, but I never went to get a professional haircut. I always would take a razor, electric razor, and just go, well, it's getting long, zip, 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 zip. And my girlfriend would come over and look at the back of my head and go, ah, what the hell did you do? You shaved it all uneven, and there's chunks missing. I'd be like, I don't care. I don't see the back of my head, and I don't give a fuck. But finally, my girlfriend said, listen, she said, you gotta go get a haircut. You have to, because you're out of control, you're screwing with your hair, you're messing it up, you're zooming it and whatever. So we did. We went and I got a nice haircut, and it feels good. It feels nice and even on the back of my head for the first time in years. It's actually trimmed. If you actually take a look, I don't know how well you can see that. See, it's nice and cut and trimmed instead of just a big jumbled fucking mess. There's not giant pieces of hair sticking off the back of my head. So for the first time in years, I have a nice head of hair. Okay, so Now let's talk about this week. Let's talk about what I'm finishing up and what you can expect this week, because there's a unique combination of stuff I'm doing this week, including finally a new release after weeks and weeks of waiting. I've also got a major update on my 3DS capture device, all right? So let's get started. First of all, today I played, and I'm not kidding, I'm not trying to build this up and make it sound like it's something better than it really is. Today I had a session of Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I played with two characters. I played with Blanca and Balrog. These were two characters who I had played with in the original version of Street Fighter 4 in 2009. And so when I played these characters today, I got to see some of the changes that have been made to them. I played against people who basically have been playing this game for a long time, and I wanted to see how could I fare, could I adapt and learn matchups and stuff. And what I can tell you is this: today is, quite honestly, in all the days that I played Ultra Street Fighter 4 since its release back in early June, this was the best session. I had consistently good competition, not scrubs with horrible connections who are doing jumping pattern bullshit, and you can't do anti-airs and you can't get your moves out. No, for the most part, the majority of matches that I played were high-quality players. They knew what they were doing. We had great matchups, and regardless of the fact whether I won or lost, I had fun and I learned. And that's really what all I've ever wanted from playing Street Fighter, is to be able to have fun and learn something. And the reason that I rage is when I play a match that's so laggy that I feel like it was a complete waste of my time because it was too bad of a connection. Today that really didn't happen, alright? And the bottom line is that people, you might be surprised, get ready, if you weren't there for the stream, I actually had an incredibly high winning record with Blanca. I think that by the time it was over, it was like I had won more than 3 times more than I had lost or something like that. Balrog, on the other hand, unfortunately, I lost a ton, but if you actually watch the matches, they're actually good, meaning a lot of those matches are very close. But what I think, and I hypothesize this because I don't know, I haven't been following the competitive Street Fighter community in years, I think what's happened is that Balrog has consistently been a top-tier character in Street Fighter 4 through every iteration, every version of it. So people are used to fighting Balrog. They know all the tricks, the strategies, the ways to counter what he has capability of doing. Blanca, not so much. I think Blanca's kind of been a character that in vanilla he was good, and then people stopped using him for a while, and so I think people don't really know what he can do, and so I'm able to beat a lot more people with him. So, if you're the kind of person that the only reason you want to watch me play Street Fighter is to see me rage, this is not the session that you want to watch. If you want to see me do higher level gameplay than I'm usually capable of doing against better players and me learning and not raging, this is the set of matches you want to watch. If you want to see some of the closest matches and most exciting matches that I've ever done this year, you want to watch this set of Street Fighter because it actually went that well. And I can only think that in weeks coming, as I play more and more and more, I'm going to learn more and more, and I'm going to get better at the game, and the matches are going to end up being even better. Alright? So, 10 matches for each character are now live on DSP Gaming, and they have their own playlists. Over the course of this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you're going to get roughly another 5 matches a day of each character going live in the morning on DSP Gaming, and of course, I'll add those to playlists over the course of the week. So, your Street Fighter fix is here. Alright? Tonight, after the weekend preview, excuse me, unfortunately, I'm really beat. You can even see I look tired, right? I'm beat because today it was hot again here in Washington, and I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, let this be the last effing hot day that we have. I'm actually looking at the weather, and the weather says it's going to get much cooler this week. It's supposed to go down into the 70s, and everyone around here seems to be of the impression that the heat wave is over. So let's hope it doesn't come back for a final strike at the end of August. But whew, it was hot as hell today, and I'm just beat and tired because of it. And of course, playing Street Fighter at a competitive level actually takes a lot out of you if you're not just doing a stupid pattern, which I don't do. A lot of my stuff is reactionary stuff. And so I'm beat. And so there's not gonna be any second gameplay stream tonight. But however, tomorrow we're gonna resume, alright? What's going to happen tonight is when I'm done with the weekend preview, I'm going to upload it, but then I'm going to upload the rest of the Grand Theft Auto videos from yesterday. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, this week I started Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. And I'll tell you right now, I'm very much enjoying it as much, if not more so, as the original PlayStation 2 Grand Theft Auto playthroughs that I did a few years back. When I remember I played Grand Theft Auto 3, I played San Andreas, I played Vice City. I liked those games, even though there were some really hard parts to them. I definitely enjoyed them, and I'll be honest, I'm now at a point in this game where it's very difficult. It's a mission that's kind of buggy. It doesn't always work properly. You'll see what I mean when I upload the videos. I don't want to spoil for those who weren't on the stream, but I'm at a point in the game that's incredibly fucking frustrating, and if the mission doesn't work properly, you have to start over and drive across the map twice every time in order to fucking restart the mission. I've already failed it like 3 times, and every time I've gotten done what the game told me, it doesn't fucking work. So, I'm at a point where I'm liking the game, but it's getting more frustrating, and I'm wondering if the game's going to get more frustrating. So, tonight I'm going to upload the remainder of those videos so you'll be caught up, because first stream tomorrow is going to be the continuation of Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. Tomorrow's second stream is going to be the conclusion of Ratchet & Clank HD. I've been told that now there's only one more mission on the planet I'm on, one more mission on another planet, and then the final world unlocks, which is like 1 or 2 missions, and the game's over. So give about 2 to 2.5 hours of gameplay, I'll probably end up beating the game, and so I'm hoping that tomorrow night will be the conclusion of Ratchet & Clank 2 HD, both on stream, and then obviously I'll upload that to YouTube as well, okay? Tuesday, we finally have a new release, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Tuesday, after a summer of deadness, we've got Tales of Xillia 2, and of course that's the catch, is that, it's a JRPG, and you know that JRPGs are polarizing, and there's going to be only a certain group of people who want to watch me play a JRPG. So I'm going to begin playing that on Tuesday. That'll be my first stream, okay? And then the second stream on Tuesday will be Vice City Stories. And that's pretty much how we're going to play out this week. We're going to have mainstream Tales of Xillia, second stream Grand Theft Auto. So that's a big variety. Those are 2 completely different games, play styles. If you saw Tales of Xillia 1's playthrough last year, it was really good. It was fun. The game was exciting. I loved the plot. I loved the characters. We had a lot of fun with the jokes. The yoked out bazongas was the running joke of the game. And I really enjoyed it, but it was long. And I'm preparing for a long playthrough. I get the feeling this game will be pretty lengthy, okay? So that's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, we will have the return of Ask the King. I apologize because last week I know we were supposed to do it, and it didn't happen because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sad to announce, if you haven't been around this past week or paying attention, my website, thekingofhate.com, suffered a forum crash. The forums got erased, and so we had to start from scratch, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. If you were previously registered and you haven't gone back, you'll notice you have to register again. You have to start over because everything got wiped. Now, the good news is that some people have gone on Google, and Google apparently has some archives, and they're trying to save some threads that Google kind of archived, but a lot of stuff was lost, including, unfortunately, all of the questions for Ask the King. And so last week I said, we're just not going to do it. We're going to postpone it a week because there's no way I could do Ask the King with no questions. So as of right now, I think I checked it this morning, there's 79 or 80 questions up on the forums. I'd like to get around 150 if I could. So if you could head over there and post up your questions, I'd very much appreciate it. And again, if you weren't aware that any of that happened, yes, you do have to re-register. We have to get stuff going again. Fan art was deleted. You know, ongoing threads from the beginning back in February when we launched the forums were deleted. It happens. It sucks. I apologize. And, you know, some people trying to give me shit this week. Oh, Phil, how could you? How could you have webmasters that don't back up the system? You're unprofessional. To which I say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because guess what? I don't make a shit ton of money where I can invest and pay someone thousands of dollars a year to be a webmaster, professional webmaster of my website. I can't. I can't afford it. I don't make that much money. People seem to have this, like, overinflated idea of how much money I make. I don't make that much money. I just freaking moved. That was my priority this year. No, I'm not sinking all this money into the website. So I can't. I can't afford to have a professional to do it, to back it up and do all that. Shit like this may happen. Now, it was a fluke that this happened. And as of now, the webmasters are now more prepared for something like this to make sure it doesn't happen again. But it is what it is, and it's an unfortunate occurrence, okay? So please head over there and register and post up and give me more questions for this Thursday, because first stream Thursday will be Ask the King. Second stream Thursday will be dependent on what people want to see. Do you want more GTA or do you want more Tales of Xillia? I'll probably decide for myself, but we'll see what happens. And then Friday again will be more of the same, okay? Now, there is another game that I want to play. There's a game that a lot of people want to see me play. The name of this game is Yakuza 4. This is a game, there's an open world kind of combat game that a lot of people love the Yakuza series. And if you remember, a few years ago, I played this game called Yakuza Dead Souls. That was like a what-if scenario. What if zombies had invaded the universe of the Yakuza games, okay? That was a one-off, and since then, I never went back to experience Yakuza, and people were like, well, Phil, it's the summer, are you going to play it? In fact, I know there's demand for it because there's a lot of people who made fan art for the game that want to see me play it. And I am basically going to handle it like this. This week is going to be Tales of Xillia 2 and Grand Theft Auto, and keep going with that. As soon as I beat one of those, I will start playing Yakuza, but you have to keep in mind something. Now, starting next week, so not this week coming up, but starting next week, is constant new releases, including next week we've got Madden and 2 kind of mini DLC things. In September, we're going to have Sims 4 and other stuff. If my 3DS capture software shows up, which it might, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, I'm going to be doing 3DS games. So there's a lot of stuff coming up that may hinder us, but eventually I'm going to play Yakuza. There's going to be time at some point, and it may be this week, it may not, it may be in the middle of September when there's a slower week and I throw Yakuza in there. Yakuza 4 is coming, but I don't want to promise you 100% when I'm playing it because it depends on how long it takes me to beat the current games that I'm playing. Okay? I'm being a realist here. I'm not going to try to promise the world and then not deliver. Alright? Okay. So, that's the rough plan for this week. Now, you may be saying, what's going on this weekend, Phil? Because you've been dragging us along every week. What's going on with John Rambo and with Smart Guys and this new show that you guys were going to do? We'd really be interested to know what's going on and is it going to return. In particular, right now as I stream and film this video, SummerSlam is on television. And as you can see, I'm not watching it, right? So people might be saying, gee, what's going on with pro wrestling? What's going on with Smart Guys? Well, I'm very honestly going to tell you, very honestly gonna tell you that this past week, John Rambo finally, after years, released the final episode of Shanaz Man and Hole Punch. It's literally feature length. It's like the length of a whole real movie that you would go see at the movie theater, alright? In my opinion, probably one of the best independently created series, one of the best independently shot things I've ever seen in my life. You gotta keep in mind that John Rambo filmed this, wrote this, did all the music, did all the editing himself. And it's just a tremendous undertaking that he pulled this off with the ending that it has and everything. It was great. I loved it. And I watched it, and I tried to tweet out, and I hope if you guys have not checked out Shanaz Man and Hole Punch yet, that is John Rambo's independent series, and I hope you will, because it's really well done, and it's funny, and it's intelligent, and you just got to check it out. I mean, someone who puts that much time and effort, it deserves more attention than it's getting, right? He started this 2 years ago, and the first few episodes were getting tens of thousands, if not, the first episode, I think, at this point, has 30,000 views, and the guy put so much work into the ending, and because what's been going on with YouTube, you've seen everyone's viewership and following is dwindling, unless you're some huge YouTuber. And so, unfortunately, he's putting all this time and effort in, and it really deserves more attention than it's getting. So please check it out. If you like my content, you're going to love this. It's better than my content, in my opinion. When it comes to anything that I could script or write or do, you should check it out, okay? But that being said, he released that this week. And then after that, he pretty much just kind of disappeared. He actually only tweeted a couple times. I watched the episode actually on Thursday of this week. And I texted him. I said, John, great job. What a great conclusion to the show. Looked really good. What do you think about Smart Guys? Because SummerSlam's this Sunday, so doing it next week might be the perfect time because we could recap SummerSlam and kind of jump into fresh, okay? He didn't respond. So at this point, I don't know what's going on with John. He tweeted yesterday that he's going away for a few days, but he'll be back for his show on Wednesday. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean that, like, he's turning off everything, turning off his fucking internet and his phone, and he just wants to be alone and left alone because he put so much time and effort into Shanaz Man, he's burnt out? I don't know. Does it mean that he's not interested in doing Smart Guys? I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask. That's the thing. I don't know what's going on with John, and he hasn't responded. So, for me, I know that if I didn't want to be bothered and I didn't respond to something, I wouldn't like it to keep being pestered. You know what I mean? So for John, I'm just going to give him his space, and if or when he contacts me and says, I'd like to do Smart Guys again, and I'd like to do our new show, great. But if he doesn't, I mean, that's going to, I guess, be on his shoulders. We haven't had a conversation about it or anything. He just didn't respond when I tried to contact him this week. So it's all lays basically on John right now. And when he feels that, I guess, he's rested enough or relaxed enough or in a position where he can jump back in and do some stuff with me, great. But until then, I don't know. It all rests on him. So that's really the situation going on, you know, real talk. And I'm not saying that's a negative or a positive. It's nothing. It's just real talk. That's what's going on. And I'm waiting to hear back from John. And when I hear from him, I'll let you know what he says. All right. But as of right now, until I hear from John, it's going to be business as usual. Saturdays is going to be one gameplay stream because Saturday's the day when I only do a half day of work so that I can go do stuff with Leanna. So it is what it is. If he's ready to come back, great. If not, I don't know. So I'll let you know. Okay, and of course, next weekend as well, Sunday, the return, more Ultra Street Fighter 4. I'll be looking to play with 2 more characters, and I'd probably say at this point, I'll probably do like 2 to 3 more sessions of that, doing a Sunday where I play with 2 characters, and then finally what I'll do is I'll focus in, I'll choose out of the characters that I've played and done well with, the characters that I want to continue on with, and see how I can do with them at maybe a higher level, playing with them more consistently, okay? So that being said, this Sunday is actually going to be another saucy Sunday. And you may say, what the hell is that? Well, 3 weeks ago, I made a pot of Italian homemade sauce. And I filmed the whole process. And I uploaded all those vlogs to my YouTube channel, The King of Hate Vlogs. And people seemed to really enjoy it. The fact that I was sharing my know-how and my cooking skills and my family recipes with you guys. All right? I'm doing it again a week from today. And so what that means is going to be like I did last time. Play Street Fighter for 20 minutes, go on a break, go stir the sauce. Play Street Fighter, go stir the sauce. So that's what it's going to be like next weekend, okay? And then, of course, that next week we got a ton of new games coming out, which we'll talk about in next week's Week in Preview. So, it's a jam-packed week with Grand Theft Auto, with the conclusion of Ratchet & Clank, with Tales of Xillia, Ask the King, the possibility of the beginning of the Yakuza 4 playthrough, and on top of all of this, the big update that I have for all of you is that I finally got a response from the company that I'm purchasing my Nintendo 3DS capture device from. Finally, I mean, it's been weeks, been like 2 weeks. They didn't even send me any information, right? They finally responded to an inquiry that I made, and they said, okay, sir, you know, it takes us a couple weeks to manufacture. What they actually do, they take the Nintendo 3DS, and they attach all this shit to it, and they install stuff inside of it, right? So that you can actually plug it into your PC and use it as a capture device. So they said that they're actually working on that right now, and more than likely that will be shipping this week. Now the thing is, I don't know how fast of a shipment method it's coming. If that 3DS shows up this week, more than likely I will be doing a test stream where we just dick around with it. I'm, you know, messing with the video and audio and trying to get it synced and messing around with it in a streaming program, and you guys can see what it looks like on stream and give me your feedback on how does it sound, how does it look. And I have certain games that I could dick around with, including Tomodachi Life. Sorry, I always get it backwards. Tomodachi Life, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, Luigi's Mansion, whatever Moon the name of that one is, I don't even know. And I also have Bravely Default. So I have 4 games I can kind of mess around with, and we can for ourselves judge and see, gee, what does this look like? Is this good? And figure out how to use it, because coming up, not this week, but the week after, late in the week, is Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And I think a lot of people are going to want to see me do that playthrough. And of course, keep in mind, come October, we've got Smash Brothers, which is coming out on the 3DS first. So I know that you guys are going to want to, you know, see those playthroughs. I think there's going to be a new audience that I might start appealing to, because people have been saying there's only a few people who are kind of known for Nintendo 3DS playthroughs. It's not a lot of people who've gotten the capturing devices to work or whatever. And so for a main streamer like me, someone who's been doing this stuff for such a long time, to jump into the 3DS could be an exciting thing. So I'm looking forward to it. It is coming. If it shows up, I'll let you guys know. I'll probably do a video about it, and then we'll work with this together and see exactly how it works and go from there. So lots of exciting stuff coming up this week. I hope that you'll be here for it. And one thing, last but not least, I do want to throw this out there, is that it seems weird to me because, unfortunately, it looks to me, and this is just me talking honestly, that if I'm not doing something that's brand new, it doesn't seem like it gets a lot of attention anymore. And I know that's kind of disheartening for a lot of people who this summer stuck with me, watched all this downtime content that I was putting out, and they were like, "Oh, but Phil, it sucks because, you know, you play a new game, you get good views. But anytime you're playing these older games during the summer, they're not pulling in the viewership." And I know, listen, I know. And it's changed a lot because, like I said, a couple of years ago, I did a Grand Theft Auto marathon. That marathon did tremendously huge views-wise. Now, here we are years later, and I definitely thought that Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories was going to catch on, and it has not. The viewership dwindled, and right now the new videos that I'm uploading aren't even getting 1,000 views in a day. That's really disheartening because you're like, damn, you know, what's going on? Why do people not want to see Grand Theft Auto? But then on the flip side of that, let's flip that. This week, there was a new thing, the hot new thing called PT. It was a playable teaser made by Hideo Kojima, and it was a horror title that if you beat it, you actually had a teaser promo for his new Silent Hill game that he's working on with Guillermo del Toro. I can't say his name. Guillermo del Toro. I don't know why I can't pronounce his first name. Guillermo. I don't know. But anyway, so that, I didn't even plan on doing this, right? I had no plans on playing that. I played it. The views are huge. Go, look for yourself. Like, over 20,000 views on part 1 for a freaking playable teaser. It's not even a real game. It's just like a little mini horror thing that lasts like an hour and a half. The ending's terrible. I couldn't even get to the fucking ending because the game's so cryptic. They don't tell you what to do to solve any puzzles, and I gave up on it. And that had huge views. Like, oh my god, huge, insane views because Phil's playing the new thing. It's like, but Grand Theft Auto's way fucking better. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories is way better than that stupid thing. That thing is just a one-off waste of time, but people watch the fuck out of that and aren't watching Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. I mean, and I gotta throw my hands up in the air like this and say, I don't know. I don't understand why people watch one thing over another. Maybe it's because it was brand new. It was something that was unexpected, you know. With all these new games coming out with the hardcore gaming season, I'm sure we're going to get some of that energy back. But I don't know. I don't know. I thought for sure that that Vice City Stories would bring people in, and it didn't. It really hasn't. But a little one-off thing like that did. You explain it to me because I'm as confused as you are. I really am. All right, everybody. All right, so that is it for the weekend preview. I know that was a long one. There was a lot to talk about. I thank you for being patient and watching. I hope that you'll join me this week for the new content, for the continuation of content, for the possibility of the 3DS, for more Street Fighter, for everything coming up. Of course, Ask the King. Please post up your questions on the forums for Ask the King. Ask the King traditionally is a fan favorite. I know you guys will love it, so definitely do so, and we'll go from there, all right? Thanks, everyone, for watching, whether it was on Twitch or YouTube. Have a good night. I'll see you for new gameplay this week. Peace out.